Coming up next on The Buzz, an interview with one of my oldest friends in magic, Robert Moreland. Stay tuned. All right, boys, here we are. We are outside here in Vegas at night, and I am joined by one of my oldest friends in magic, and I do mean that. We met back at a convention many, many years ago. I'm talking about Robert Moreland. How are you, buddy?
Fantastic. Luke, how are you today?
Oh, man, it's good. It's another day in paradise.
It is. I'm telling you, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah, yeah. And all the viewers out there, if you don't know Robert, it's okay. He's one of those guys in magic that's known as an underground magician. It's the kind of guy that does the good stuff, but he keeps it quiet. But we're trying to change that. We have a feeling that Robert's going to be a name that everyone's going to know very, very soon. Isn't that right?
Only time will tell, you know.
He's like blown away by that himself. So you guys are in for a treat. He's got some great magic. And I remember meeting you for the first time at the convention. And it wasn't the first time we met, but you showed me the new card change, the cloud change you were working on.
Yeah.
And we had so many good times at that convention and so many great stories. But something I want to get from you, because we've kind of grown up in the industry together. You know, we've see each other at conventions and see each other a couple times a year. At least we try to. Magic has changed so much from when we started to where it is now. What are your thoughts on, first of all, how far do you think it's come in a good way? And then how do you think you should let the people out there know what magic should be like if they're just getting into it? And what's the best way to learn magic now if they want to be a really good magician? So from now, back then, tell us how far you think magic has come in a good way.
That's leaps and bounds.
It is.
There's tons of stuff going on in magic right now. It's absolutely incredible, the range of mediums that are available now from which you can learn this art form. I mean, when I was a kid, you had to go to the library, you had to get a book, you know? And I have to say, as far as learning magic, I still think it is the dynamic form of medium for this art. The reading, in my opinion, I'm a huge advocate of reading. When I first started doing magic professionally, I was doing accelerated reading programs for high schools and middle schools. Right. And I can tell you that there is no way better to sort of access your creative capacity than by reading a book. Because let's face it, when you watch a DVD, the picture is created for you. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there's great things you can learn from DVDs. You can learn things like timing, things like stance, where you stand, how a move should be performed, when it should be performed. But when you read a book and you learn an effect, it accesses a creative capacity in your mind that I don't think can be done through a visual medium. Yeah,
I mean, I definitely see it a lot, and I've touched on this before. A lot of people that watch DVDs seem to try to become the person that they're watching.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The picture is completely created for them. So there's no imagination involved. When you read a book, you create the picture. Your mind creates the picture. You have no reference. You know, if you read a book and it's a fiction, you create those pictures, okay? Whenever you watch a DVD, it's a totally different experience. You're actually being fed everything. You know, there's no room left for the imagination.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that kind of answers both questions, because you know, the second thing I was going to get you to tell the guys is advice. And you kind of touched on it there, books and reading and try to be your own person, but if you had to give one bit of advice to a young guy or a young girl that's out there watching and they go, man, I really want to be the next Chris Angel or the next whoever, I want to be the next great magician, or if they just want to become a hobbyist, what's the best way, in your opinion, to look at magic and just how to have fun with it? What would you say to someone like that?
First of all, every great achievement in this world has been achieved through passion. What Napoleon Hill, I remember, once called a magnificent obsession.
Nice.
And that is the beginning. And then after you do that, it is necessary to align yourself with people who share your vision, and not only that, but they have a passion for it as well, and work well with you. There has to be harmony. Okay. And that is, in my opinion, the way you achieve success. And it doesn't matter what art form you're in. That's just a philosophy of life. Right. And I think if you really love magic and you apply that formula, you can't help but succeed.
So it's great advice at any level. If you're interested in magic and it starts to veer off onto something else, if you want to be successful in anything in life, surround yourself with like-minded people, successful people, and you too will be successful. So that's great advice. And you know, it's funny, a lot of people are wondering, oh, I hope he tells me what's the next great trick to learn. It's not about the tricks. there's so much more than the tricks, and we're going to give you a lot more of that info on the buzz as we go forward. So Robbie, man, thanks for hanging out. Trust me, you guys are going to see a lot more of this guy in the future. So catch you guys next time.